At this point, members, I would like to acknowledge the victorious St. Lucia netball team who recently participated in the OACS netball tournament. And on your behalf, I invited the members here to receive from the Minister for Sports a congratulatory messages. Members, I ask you to join me in welcoming the members of the St. Lucia National Netball Team. My understanding is that the membership cuts across the entire island. Statements from ministers, I now invite the Minister for Youth Development and Sports.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to make an official statement to this Honorable House on this International Women's Day, the celebration of women in our society. In doing so, I want to thank the many women who have worked tirelessly in the pursuit of excellence in sports on our island, especially in this trying time. Mr. Speaker, St. Lucia has registered some eye-popping results in the region and indeed the world over the last few months. And I'm happy to report that it is our women, our St. Lucian women, who are the ones flying our nation's flag so high. Mr. Speaker, St. Lucia's Julian Alfred continues to make us proud. A few weeks ago, Julian got into the elite pantheon of world female sprinters at this time. Her time of 7.10 seconds ranked the former Leon Hess student from the community of Cicero the 7th fastest woman over 60 meters in the history of the world. But Mr. Speaker, I will never allow St. Lucia to forget that when the member of Denry North offered support to this young lady, he was excoriated and investigated. And up to this day, no financial audit has ever been released. But we'll speak about this in another show. Mr. Speaker, this government will show you and the rest of the world how much we care right now, Mr. Speaker, for our female athletes. I want the people of St. Lucia to know that I can now confirm that this government, under the instruction of the Honorable Prime Minister and this Sports Minister, with this Minister of Housing, and in collaboration with the member for Castries South, is currently in the process of repairing Julian Alfred's home in Cicero. Mr. Speaker, we are not just talk, we are action. But Mr. Speaker, the sport of track and field may just be the sport to bring home the elusive Olympic medal. This is because we are seeing a cadre of young women continuing to show progress as they go through our developmental programs. A possible member of a 4x100 meter women's team may be Viewfort's very own Naomi London. Mr. Speaker, at the recently completed games at the George Odlum Stadium, the young sensation became yet another female athlete from St. Lucia running sub 12 seconds. London finished the race in 11.82 seconds to officially qualify for this year's Carifta Games. Her time puts her right up there with Julian Alfred at this age and puts her with the likes of Michaela Hyacinth, Kimani Alfors, which will be a force to reckon with in the region and indeed the world at the next Olympic Games. We care about our female athletes, and we will continue to prioritize their well-being. And today, Mr. Speaker, as you said, in our midst, our senior national netball team is here. In a time where this group of women had to face the huge restrictions placed on them by COVID-19, Team St. Lucia placed second in the recently completed OACS Netball Championship. Mr. Speaker, I as Minister must tell the story of these women who braved day and night, sitting on buses en route to training, fearful of contracting the deadly disease on their way to and from our facilities. Yet they toiled. Mr. Speaker, these women who hopped, skipped, and jumped all over their opponents in the sub-region, they suffered injuries, some career-ending, but they stood up in support of their teammates as they fought for sweet victory. Team St. Lucia had a mixture of young netballers, but as a result of complications due to the coronavirus, other senior players put up their hands, came out of retirement, and joined the battle for regional netball supremacy. And so today, Mr. Speaker, I believe all of St. Lucia, including every one of my parliamentary colleagues, should again put their hands together for this netball team, including the delegation of Sanya Hansman, team manager Mrs. Marian Marshall Montoute, head coach Donna Lynn Patterson Joseph, primary care Alexandria Eugene, the players Shem Maxwell as captain, vice captain DeSilva Florton, Roxanne Snyder, Kiana Nelson, Vaughn Alexander, Makiba Alcid, Aliyah Estefor, Malika Destang, Alana Paul, Gemma Lionel, Megan Nestor, Safia Paul, and of course, Lakeisha Phillips. Put your hands together for them one more time. Meanwhile, Mr. Speaker, our female cricketers continue to show progress in the regional game. Despite having just a few training sessions with the Windward Islands under-19 female cricket team before a team of the USA in St. Vincent, young sensation Zeta James continues to comport herself with class and displayed immense talent with both ball and bat. Despite losing the series, James was considered by some of the legends in regional cricket as the best batter for both teams. Zeta, along with the likes of Sky Smith, Nisha Alexander, Shania Cooper, Destiny Edward, Sunali Dorius, and Namaya Masley, continue to show their high level of talent and commitment to training to ensure they eventually break into this West Indies female team. They, along with the likes of Malika Edward, who doubles up as an assistant coach from the community of Babylon, continue to make great strides in the field of cricket. Mr. Speaker, I can go on and on about the Olympian and swimming prospect in Michaeli Shalmine, the Corriv native who also competed at the recently completed Pan American Juniors. She continues to work hard to ensure she lifts the sport of swimming higher. Faith Jeffrey is another female swimmer catching the eyes of the region and the world. Mr. Speaker, all this is happening while we see a serious uptake in female sports administrators. We are proud of our women in sports administration, the Velika Augustines of the world, Fortuna Belrose of the world, Marlene Emanuels of the world, Rufina Paul, Yasmin Tyson, Rosie Prevost of the world. Mr. Speaker, the sport of bodybuilding is being held together by a woman. The president of the St. Lucia Bodybuilding and Physique Association, Jacqueline Treem, continues to work tirelessly to ensure the sport continues to grow. And she's from Grosley. Mr. Speaker, the president of the Caribbean Netball Association is a St. Lucian woman. Rufina Paul, she stands tall in a regional netball administration. She's from Grosley. Makiba Alcid, Dora Henry, Chozel's Estopiopen. When you go to Chozel to watch T20 cricket, a woman is driving that. Dora Henry in track and field. She continues to assiduously work to ensure that they continue to progress. The pioneer swimming competitions on island, Diane Worrell soldiers on, while many other women continue to work hard in the interests of national progress. Mr. Speaker, our government is so proud of their achievements, and we want to make this position absolutely clear to them today that this government will work with them to ensure that we can provide as much support as possible to help with their development in sport. As we know, sports involvement leads to discipline. It builds healthier lifestyle. It reduces stress. And so, considering the times that we are living in, it is even more important for us to do this now. We will continue to show our support. We want to thank them for their contribution to our country. Happy International Women's Day to all.